And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Today is Tuesday as we begin another day. May the 20th is what we've got. Now today is going to be absolutely gorgeous. We're going to have a lot of sunshine. Come dark 30, things change a little bit. We're going to look at the map, tell you where it is. Anybody that lives north of Neshoba County, there at the Neshoba-Winston County line, if you live at the Kemper County line next to Noxubee, the weather is going to be a lot more severe there than it is in Lauderdale County. I expect showers in Meridian to begin somewhere around 9 to 1 a.m. We're going to start seeing those showers around the Louisville area, 8 a.m. Pretty rough stuff there, so watch that. We'll tell you more about it. It'll be a lot more severe in those areas and northward to the state line than anywhere else in the state of Mississippi. We'll tell you about that in a minute when we get into the weather forecast. That's up and coming here momentarily. How do you feel? We certainly hope you're doing well. Daylight has broken. We are so tickled over that. Another day on this earth. We'll be right back as we celebrate that with a good word from up above.
In the original Greek language, the book of Philippians begins this way. Paulus kai Timotheos douloi Christou Iesu.
When was the last time you told a good friend you were thankful for them? I don't know, maybe us guys don't express this hardly at all, but just think about it for a minute. Many of us have friends or family that have been by our side through thick and thin, or have supported us in many of our endeavors. Have you expressed that to them? Do you tell them that not only are you thinking of them, you're praying for them? Look at what the Apostle Paul writes in Philippians 1, 3 through 5. I give thanks to my God for every remembrance of you, always praying with joy for all of you in my prayer, because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. You see, Paul is writing this letter from prison, and here at the beginning of this letter, he expresses his deep gratitude for his friendship with the Philippians because of their unwavering partnership in the spreading of the gospel. Not only does he state he's grateful for his friends, he says he's praying for them at every opportunity. What an encouragement to be on the receiving end of this letter. Paul, a great leader in the faith, expresses gratitude and prays often for this people. You can almost imagine the Philippians being fired up after these first few sentences. Man, Paul is grateful for us and he's praying for us. So, brother or sister, remember this encouragement. Tell your greatest friends or family members or whoever that you're grateful for them. And don't just pray for them. Let them know you're praying for them. What an encouragement you will be. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that message there from First Baptist there in Collinsville. And yes, Austin, I've had coffee. Me and Odie were just discussing that. I just kind of hovered above it for a few moments there. You don't know what you've got until you don't have it anymore. And yesterday I couldn't drink coffee due to a doctor's appointment, and I was miserable. I can't lie. I'm addicted. It makes me function. And I kid you not, I was probably somewhere around 16 and a half, somewhere around 17 when I first started in radio, and that's when my career being hooked on coffee began. From there on, if I walked in a building, I felt like I had to have one. It made me talk better. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
It clears my throat. I love coffee, to say the least. We should make a coffee song one day. My, oh my. Good morning to you. We do hope you feel wonderful as we're back at it. We'll have the morning show coming up at 7, the latest of headlines that's happening locally. That's on the way. We begin this, and I applaud this. This has never been done, and I'm shocked until now that it's never been done. It was announced yesterday from the White House. Is everybody aware of this? It's a new award that's going to be put out to men and women of law enforcement and also anyone who is involved in taking place with first responders that lose their life in the line of duty. This is going to be the first ever award. They handed it out yesterday called the Sacrifice to Fallen Officers. Medals of Sacrifice is what it's called. It was awarded to 3 officers yesterday from Palm Beach, I believe is where they were. Palm Beach, they were. Corporal Louis Prezes, Deputy Sheriff Dan Diaz, and Deputy Sheriff Ralph Butch Waller were the first 3 to ever get this. And this will be bestowed upon Americans who give their life in the line of duty. This is first responders and also to law enforcement who lose their life. very important to be remembered for what you do. There's a lot of unsung heroes that each year this happens to. Their families will be awarded this. This is good. I like that. As we know, there was a phone call that took place between the U.S., Putin, and also Zelensky yesterday. President Trump tells us that the meeting went very well. He says that the two will have to work out their details. It's not his war, but it does look promising that peace will come. We will be able to work with Russia and also Ukraine and get on the right path again. Let's keep our fingers crossed that this war ends. We don't need wars. We all know that. Many, many lives have been lost in this fiasco that's going on. Let's see. I haven't gotten the official word. It should be coming out any moment now. This was put out late yesterday evening as we go to Indiana. An hour before daybreak. It is daybreak outside. An inmate was supposed to lose his life by execution. What did he do? This is the first time since 2009 in Indiana that they've done this in the state. This happened in 2000, some 25 years ago. A police officer was murdered. This man's been sitting on death row since then. He was to meet his maker 1 hour before sunrise this morning. His name was Benjamin Ritchie. Lethal injection. We'll update the story as news comes from there. Indiana is where that was to take place there. Texas, what's going on there? This is where I draw a line. This bothers me. And we have got to set forth rules in the United States where this can't happen. There's a man in Texas that is suing Whataburger. Anybody ever been to a Whataburger? I think I lived off of that for 6 months when I was in Corpus Christi. Wow, they're good hamburgers, they are. He is suing them because they left onions on his hamburger when he ordered it. Now, I think most Americans would agree that's senseless. That's a waste of court time when we have important things like, well, people that's taken the lives of cops that hold up these courtrooms. We need to clear this. We need to make this set forth for day one and move forward. It's not right. I don't agree with that. Do you remember, and we know without a shadow of a doubt, what they call J6? There was one person that was killed there. She was a female. She didn't have a gun. She was standing in a hallway, and the best I remember from the video, she was maybe on somebody's shoulders climbing, and a Capitol police officer shot her. She was unarmed and had not breached anything. The officer during that administration was cleared of all charges for firing a weapon and taking her life. The Trump administration is awarding her family $5 million for a wrongful death. And again, she had not broken in. She was at that doorway, if you'll go back and watch that. Tough. There's an investigation coming. I didn't ever think I'd live to see anything like this, but it looks like they may investigate this. Kamala Harris, you remember all the celebrities that endorsed her? There's an investigation to see if they were paid illegally to do this. I forget, what was it, $2 billion spent on that administration's run? Or that campaign. Let me back up and say it is campaign, not administration. They weren't. But an investigation has been launched into that. We'll see what becomes of that. Were they paid illegally? I'm not sure. We'll see. Mississippi making the news this morning. This happened right outside of Stark, Vegas, outside of Starkville, Mississippi, as they were in a creek bed with archaeologists digging. What they uncovered. I remember when this happened. It's a little bit ago. It's now making national headline news there of a 30-foot ancient sea monster found in Mississippi. We got one of the only ones that ever happened. The skeleton's big, ugly, and nasty. I'll say that. But hey, we're first. Chalk one up for the old Gipper for us here in the state of Mississippi. It was actually an ocean monster, so that tells us we're going back to the days of Noah and the Ark. Something about that Bible being true, isn't it? And off script this morning, I don't know if you've seen this, and this is in Turkey. It was found many years ago, something that looked like at the top of a mountain that looks like Noah's Ark. I I'm sure most of you have seen this before, but they've been scanning this area recently, and it looks as though in the whole of that, there could possibly be below deck. You know where I'm going with this? Different levels. Now, the wood would be rotten, but it certainly looks like it, making more evidence that the Bible is the gospel. Scientists will keep continuing to investigate that. That is something else, but you can Google it and find all of that and read on it. Let's see here. Boy, Nebraska stepping up. Now, there is no one, I don't think, if a family needs help, especially when they're down on their luck, it's no longer called food stamps. It's called SNAP, the SNAP program. I think we're familiar with that. And again, there are families that need this. But they're going to be the first to ban soda drinks and energy drinks, that money being used toward that. Now, I remember when I was a kid in high school, I worked in a convenience store, and there were certain items that could not be bought with that stuff. And it looks as though America is reshaping and going back to what it was intended for. But Nebraska, the first one to ban energy drinks from that. We'll see where it goes. A Florida man has been arrested. It's just, it takes me back to watching Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And saying the words, not the livestock. You remember that saying?
Yeah, I do.
A neighbor shot a man's cow because it broke the fence and came over. Shot it 5 times. The cow's dead. Some things just ain't right. Cow doesn't know fences. Honest mistake there on his part. He saw some grass. It looked good. He was killed for that. Yes, the older I get, and I'll admit this, the older I get, the more compassionate I am for things that can't protect themselves. And I mean that to be animals and the elderly and things of that nature that have no way of protecting themselves against the world and the evil that's out there. I can't help it. An argument is getting... You have to give Trump credit with his way to come up with names. He has dubbed Bruce Springsteen. Have y'all seen this? He's got a new name. Prune Face. They keep going back and forth. But old Prune. Now we know. Let's see what else is happening this morning. The Senate confirms Charles Kushner as ambassador to France. CBS, the head of it, has stepped down. Well, they've had those investigations going into the network. Trump won against them. The president has stepped down. They'll be appointing a new president of it very soon of CBS. We've got another one captured from New Orleans. This leaves 6 on the run from New Orleans as they move that toilet from the wall and escaped out of prison. They were all violent criminals. 6 people still on the loose. They've gotten 4 in jail now. Again, Louisiana, Mississippi, y'all heads up. Anything that doesn't look right, call authorities. This past weekend, America lost 28 people. 28 people minded their own business in their homes as storms ripped across America. 28 people lost their lives. Kentucky, Missouri, and those areas. We have more bad weather forecasted for tonight. We'll get into the forecast in a minute. We do have tornadic activity, especially listed for our area northward as you get into Winston County, Noxubee County, as we get North Columbus Air Force Base, those areas, it's going to be a little bit more rough than it is in the Meridian. We still have chances of tornadic activity in Kemper, Lauderdale, Newton. Heads up tonight. We'll be on top of this. That main threat could be anywhere from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. The Meridian area falls under 9 p.m. As we look at Louisville, 6 p.m. We'll be watching that for you in that area there. Let's see here. There's still people in Mississippi and awaiting approval from the last storms we had for FEMA to approve. We've got some Taylorsville is what I'm talking about. Homes that were destroyed. They're still waiting to be approved from the White House for disaster relief. I think there's enough people watching that probably have Tate's number that could get an answer as to what's going on at the White House. I think a phone call could be made and hurry some of this stuff up. The mood is shifting in Washington, and there are questions. As we all, regardless of what your political beliefs are, it is very concerning that a former president is diagnosed with a disease that will most likely take his life. prostate cancer. The questions now is the first as that came out, everybody passed along condolences and well wishes for Biden. Now comes to the question of who was in charge and who was the doctor that just a few months ago said that he was perfect health, perfect bill of health. I don't know much in this world, but I would say that there's getting ready to be an investigation. And let me say that word again, investigation launched into why that was said. Was there a reason or was it an honest mistake? I think we'll find out. We found out the Supreme Court has backed Trump to revoke protected status for, I think it's somewhere around 350,000 Venezuelans that are not American citizens. That's going to be retracted. They'll be going home before long. And be ready for this, any Sesame Street fans? It's headed to Netflix. You'll still be able to watch it on PBS, but a big move for them. I don't watch reality television, especially the Rose for Bachelorette, the 25 Housewives of whatever county it is. It just, well, it doesn't catch me. Neither does this. Anybody heard of a TV show called Love Island? Beats me, but I'm sure there's somebody that watches it. But one of the contestants on it, his name is Cash Barnett. State of Utah has charged him with domestic violence. Not exactly the person you want to win with, is it? We'll be right back with your weather forecast.
Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs, your local pharmacy and gift shop, thanks you for your continued support. Whether you shop with us in-store, through our app, over the phone, or in our drive-thru, our team will provide the best personalized customer service experience you expect from your local pharmacy. When you call or message us, you are promptly greeted by the Mr. Discount team that's ready to help. When you choose our pharmacy, you're choosing a locally owned pharmacy that cares about you and your community. Collinsville, Mr. Discount Drugs makes a difference.
We welcome you to a new vehicle buying experience here at Doc's Toyota. Buying a new vehicle doesn't have to be stressful, but don't just take our word for it.
This was the best experience I've ever had buying a vehicle.
Doc's employees are top-notch.
I drove 2 hours, not once, but twice, to purchase 2 vehicles with a 5-month time frame.
Doc's delivers competitive pricing, a comprehensive selection, and flexible financing options, helping you get on the road from Carthage, Meridian, and beyond. There's a reason why there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
We switch to Doc's Toyota radar as we'll see that we have storms moving in from Arkansas in the northern portion of the state right now this morning. We've got fog south of Hattiesburg toward Mobile and toward Biloxi in those areas. Let's flip this on and look at our severe weather probability for today as we look at this. Now, as you'll see here, we've got a level 3. Let's back out and see this whole thing from Kentucky, including Knoxville, Chattanooga, Birmingham, and also Columbus Air Force Base being a level 3. From south of there to Meridian, a level 2. Tornadoes are likely here. Tornadoes are possible here. This is moderate rain. Let's move in a little bit closer on this so you can see this. That line, now again, I want to be very clear about this. If you're sitting here in Leake and northern Neshoba counties, it's about 5 miles into Neshoba County and also into Leake counties. That is a level 3. Pay attention right on these county lines as we see that Macon, Louisville, all of this area is at level 3. Let's turn on our locations and look at this a little bit closer there. The Indian Mountains as it comes from right here, coming across. Here's Kentucky Fried Chicken as you get to Sugarlock there. Sugarlock Lumber Company under this threat. Kemper County a level 2. And these portions here, this split, right around 19 and 395. Y'all be careful in northern Highway 15 north of Burnside Park, Highway 25 here, where it runs into, what is this road here? Into Mars Hill Road as we move across that Leake County line there. Look at that, Carthage, a level 2, but northern is what we want to pay attention to, north of Edinburgh and those areas there. Again, the Meridian area, as you can see, is a level 2, and this will go down to the Evangel Temple right there to where the level 2 is and go west across the county, taking in Meehan, taking in the city of Newton being a level 2, and all the way out by the Ag Center to the state line, I-20, Cuba, Alabama, as well as a level 2. York, you are a level 2 as well, as you'll see that. And that does take in all your McElroy trucking this area here. Now let's talk about this. As we look at this, the timeline, as we put it out, the National Weather Service will look at their what they're putting out here in just a second. Let me go ahead and pull that up. Wrong button. I haven't got my ducks in a row, do I? That's what's wrong. The National Weather Service has it put up like this. These areas here, anything west of DeKalb, northwest of DeKalb, will be 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. The Meridian area and Scuba in these areas here will be 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. As we look at this logistically, and all times are subject to change, we should start seeing heavy thunderstorms in here around 8 p.m. Now, depending upon wind and how fast this thing moves, that could fluctuate in between now and dark 30. But we're putting this at 6 p.m. most likely. At this point in time, it's showing that the worst of the weather to arrive around 8 p.m. The Meridian area will start seeing our worst right around that 9 p.m. hour there. So we're going to be on top of this, following these storms as they make our way. As we have a level 1, 2, and 3 again for the state, we could see golf ball size hail anywhere in this area right here, in that in the enhanced version there. So lots to pay attention to tonight when it comes to this weather. We want you to be on top of it. As we look at today's forecast, we're looking at 91, 92 for the Meridian area, somewhere around 90 there in Philadelphia, as we'll see Columbus Air Force Base at 89. As we move to Bamaland, Birmingham should be 88. About the same there in the areas around Demopolis. 91, 92 is what we're expecting. Now, we're going to have some strong winds possible with this also. This could cause power outages. We want to remind you of this. Sustained winds of 20 to 25. We will have gusts during these storms up to 45 miles an hour for tonight. So let's just say anytime after 6 p.m., it could get ugly, especially north of Meridian. We'll be here for you then. This timing will be 11 a.m. through 7 p.m. So lots of that coming across. As we'll show a little bit of cooler temperature in the northern portion of Mississippi. The Meridian area is at normal as we look at these. Our 7-day forecast calls for 91 today, 65 for tonight, and we'll get into the rain chances after dark there. By tomorrow, the rain moves out, high of 86. We'll see 89 on Thursday as we see the temperature change there for a day or so. We'll drop down to 82 on Friday, 86 on Saturday, but nice. Rain chances increase by the time you go back to work on Monday to a 50% chance of rain. As we look all the way to June 3rd, look at this. Some 77s there on May 27th and 28th. Then as we hit June, we start ramping back up, 84, 86 as we move into mid-year. Can you believe that? Halfway through the year already? That's what it looks like. As we glance across here at fishing today, southwest wind 10 to 15 with gusts up to 25. We'll show that our best time has started at 6 o'clock this morning till 8 a.m. Another time will come late this evening as the weather starts to become kind of nasty there. 6:30 until 8:30. You've got a slight chance at lunchtime at 12:30 to 1:30. Sunrise happened at 5:53 this morning. Sunset will roll in at 7:49 this morning. That's a quick look at national headlines and weather of what we've got this morning. We're going to be back in about 3 minutes as we'll go live for the morning show. And Monday is a holiday, Memorial Day, as it rolls in. So much to be thankful for as that reaches us as Run for the Wall heads for Washington. They'll be there for that. A lot of motorcycles arriving there. We'll be right back. Join us, won't you? It begins at 7. All the latest headlines of what's happening locally. We can't do it without you. Join us. It begins at 7. Scotty Ray and Odie.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.